try to get the stream started. Wait for
Oh,
Stephen.
there's Seth.
Oh, there goes Stephen.
Okay,
Should be all set.
you're all set.
Should I start?
Yes, you can.
Well, good evening, everybody. This is the Town of Mamaroneck Zoning Board Appeals meeting for the month of November 2021. Lisa, do you want to discuss what happened? Lisa?
Oh, yes.
We want to
Yes.
do blurb up
Well,
front.
I guess. So first let's start out by saying that this meeting is being held in accordance with the laws of New York, Chapter 417, which allows public bodies to meet and take action without permitting in-person public access to the meeting, and it authorizes such meeting and public hearings to be held remotely. Francine, was this meeting duly noticed?
Yes, it was.
Okay, and it's being live streamed tonight on LMC TV, Channel 35 on FiOS, Channel 76 on Optimum, and online at lmctv.org. And Rich, if people want to send an email during the meeting, where should they do so? You're muted.
You're still muted.
Yeah, because I was typing. It'll be rpolcari@townmamaroneckny.org. I'll change my name to that.
Okay, so people can email Rich during the meeting if they have any comments. And in addition, all of the documents that will be discussed by the board this evening have been posted on the town website, or actually I should ask Rich and Francine to confirm whether that is the case. Have all the documents to be discussed tonight been uploaded to the website?
Yes, they have.
Okay, excellent. That is now a requirement of the open meetings law, that all the documents get posted 24 hours before the meeting, posted digitally on the website. And Francine, can you confirm that both items on the agenda tonight for public hearing have been duly noticed?
Yes, they have.
Okay, Arthur, was there anything else we were going to?
Well, we were going to discuss about the timing of the submissions to be, so that the town can have enough time to post it.
Yes, exactly. So really for the applicants, they need to get their documents submitted in a form that they can be easily uploaded. And any documents that have not been uploaded, it's the applicant's responsibility to make sure that has been done, because otherwise we will not be in a position to take action on that application. So just advice to applicants to check before the meetings, well before the meetings, to make sure that all the documents have been uploaded to the website.
When you say take an action, I mean, go to a vote for approval as opposed to having a presentation made.
Yeah, I mean, it's, Arthur, at your discretion as chair, with respect to whether if someone shows up and they want to speak, that's up to you. But with respect to taking action on items that haven't been posted by law, then that's something we would have to push over the next month.
Okay. So that's something new that we haven't done before, correct?
Yeah, that is a new requirement.
So should we start the application?
Sure.
Okay.
Francine, application number one.
Application number one, case number 3252, Armin and Kelly Schultz, 7 Edgewood Avenue, requesting a variance to convert an existing garage to a home office on the premises located at 7 Edgewood Avenue and known on the tax assessment map as block 123, lot 161.
Make a motion to open the public hearing.
Anybody second?
Oh, Greg, keep it.
Second.
Hey, it's Gregory Lewis, Lewis Architects. Paige is going to get on too. Could you open her up as a panelist as well, please?
I believe I did. My computer's just a little slow, a little bit of lag
problem.
time.
I'm actually in Connecticut at a awards dinner, so I'm just stepped outside. The problem here is the fountains are rushing, and at my age, I think I might have to run to the bathroom halfway through my presentation.
Make it quick.
Your wife can handle it.
How's everyone? Is Paige on? I just can't see it on my screen here. Is Paige on as well?
Yes.
Oh, great. There she
Thank
is. Let me change my
Good
view.
evening.
I'm seeing everyone. I'm just only seeing the talker. I can't. Let's see. Right there, maybe. Oh, there. Now I can see everyone. Hey, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. We have a small project where we're converting. Actually, let me see if the Armin and Kelly are on. Oh, I see Armin. Say what? Wave, Armin.
Hello, I'm here. Hi,
Amazing.
everyone.
I didn't see
Amazing
Kelly
tech-
there.
This is amazing technology. That's great. So Paige is sharing the drawing. In a nutshell, we are converting a garage to an office and then keeping a storage shed in the front of the garage. Paige, if you want to go to the next page of the site plan, there we go. You can zoom in there, just on the proposed site plan. Oh, that's perfect. She's much more talented than I am at this. So we have two variances. One is well, let me just take a step back. The existing garage is within the footprint of the house, so there's no expansion of the footprint. We're proposing a change in use, which triggers the variance requirement. The existing house is 6 feet from the property on the left here, which you see, that's on the driveway side. And the required setback is 8, but no change to the exterior, except for we're putting a few windows in on the left side. If you want to go to the floor plan page.
Sure. Hold on a second.
Yeah, you can zoom in there, would be great. Thank you so much. So the existing garage is going to convert to an office. There's a vestibule on the right that cuts through to the office. And then we're proposing a wall dividing the office and a storage area. So the space, the impression from the front of the house will still remain as a garage. We're changing the carriage doors as opposed to an overhead door, which you see there. And then we're proposing 3 new windows on the left side. Again, no change in footprint. Paige, if you want to go to the next plan.
You go to the demolition plan?
Sure. So here we're proposing, we're going to gut up.
It's better than the
Yep, yep.
small prints I had.
Well, you should have been half size.
Yeah, it's hard to read when it's that small.
I'm sorry. We go full
Yeah,
size. I don't
The
mind.
line quality gets very light.
I got you. Yeah, that happens sometimes. So I apologize, but we're gut demoing the existing interior of the garage, basically taking out the plaster walls and plaster ceiling. And then where you see the dash line on the left of the house, that's where new windows are going in there. We're going to remove the demo of the existing door, garage door, and then demo the existing door to the office space, to the garage as you see it.
And the existing walls are how thick on the exterior?
It's a wood framed wall.
2x4s.
I use 7, yeah, 2x4s. I use 7 inches as my standard outside wall with the plaster thickness
But
and all
the
that.
studs are 2x4s, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And then let's go.
At one point, you say that you're gonna put 6 inches or something of insulation in there. Are you gonna fur out the interior? It doesn't matter. I mean,
Okay.
but wasn't
No,
clear.
I love getting tips and your talents and knowledge on my plans. It's fantastic. So let's go to the elevations page.
Elevations?
Oh, we'll do lighting. I guess I'll do lighting first. So yeah, zoom in on that, please. Thank you so much. So within the space, we're proposing some downlights and then light within the storage space. And then we have some exterior outlets proposed. No other change to the lighting. And then we can look at the, actually, do you mind going to the end of the presentation? We show the existing front of the house. Down at the bottom is the pictures of the house.
Oh,
Yeah, just scroll through. There you go. Right there. Exactly. So zoom in on the one on the upper section there, please. Great. So what you see here is exactly the same thing we're going to have. The garage is on the left, the front door is in the middle, living room and the bedroom are in the center portion of the house. So go ahead and back to the proposed front elevations. Perfect. So on the left is the new carriage doors that will swing out, and then there's no other change proposed. The footprint's the same. Go ahead to the right elevation. To your right. So there's no change here.
No
And then go to the
windows.
next page. The rear elevation, there's no change. And then on the left elevation, these are the new windows we're proposing in the garage space, which becomes the office. We also have a unique situation here where there's a almost like a mansard roof, like a retail space in the front. You see that on the upper right there. So we're going to take advantage of that to put a wall-mounted Mitsubishi unit for the air conditioning system for the air conditioning and heating for that space.
And that is in a required yard, or is it further back?
That's further back.
Further back, okay.
We thought that was a good opportunity to screen that the equipment. If you want to go back to the front elevation page. Actually, I'll take it back. Let's go to the site plan because there's a second variance required for the overall. Yeah. So the overall required setback is the 10 plus the 8, so it's 18. And unfortunately, we have the 5.6 plus the 6, so we're at 11.6. But again, there's no change to the footprint with the proposed conversion of the garage to the office space. So with that, I'd like to open up for questions before I have to run to the bathroom.
Is there any questions from the board?
No.
Was that a no, I heard?
Yep.
Any questions from,
Wait, I have a
Sure.
question, Arthur.
Sure.
Sorry, I was on mute because as I'm looking at I recognize there's no change to the footprint. So is a zoning variance necessary and required for this, what turns out to be an interior fit out, or are we getting, is there also a
It's
variance? for the
habitable, it's converting to habitable space. It's like.
change in
Yes.
use?
It's a change in use from the garage.
Porch, the screened in porch that we turn, make a multi-season, so.
Exactly. So instead of a car being in the space, we have a residential use within the space.
If there had not been a setback issue, we wouldn't be seeing this. I mean.
Correct.
If you look, the front actually doesn't meet, but that's still going to be storage. Right? Front yard setback looks like you don't meet. That's going to be a
Correct.
storage areas.
Yeah, there's no change in that use.
All right, Jonathan, can you just repeat that? Because if it were inside the setbacks, we wouldn't have to look at it for a change in use. But
Sure.
since it is outside the setbacks, we have to, but we're, again, inside the walls.
We haven't seen garages, but we've seen a lot of where the screened in porches being converted to a, 4-season
A
room.
full room, and that's more like an exterior construction. That's a change that I would recognize as being requiring a zoning variance. But given that this is, with the exception, I guess we can say, because we have this window that's getting cut into the outside wall, I'm not seeing like a flag for a zoning.
It's Steve, it's intensity of use. So if it's a storage area or you're putting a car in there, you're assuming that somebody's just going to be driving a car, doing, storage stuff. An office could be, it could be a little bit more than an office, but you could have more use, you could have longer use, more noise. It all depends on the use that somebody uses the garage for too. Or having a garage bed in there, that'd be something totally different. But
Okay,
that's usually what it is. It's intensity of use that triggers that. We just had that other one last month that was a change to a family room. I don't remember what it was prior to that. Maybe it was a garage also. That was like a pre-existing one. If you remember, that was one that was like changed years ago.
okay, thank you.
so if this room in the future became a rec room or some other use other than an office, would it need a second means of egress?
Oh,
Oh, no, only if it became a bedroom.
Bedroom?
because it's not a basement. So only if it was a bedroom, it would need second means of egress. So one of the windows would have to be made into egress, but it wouldn't really have to come back to you at that point either, because it would already be habitable space going to habitable space.
Right. Okay, thanks. No other questions from the board? Any questions from the audience? The Zoom audience?
Give me 1 sec. Nobody yet. Give me 1 second. Nope, we have no emails and I have no raised hands.
All right, at this point, I can make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Once you start calling, you know, stop.
How do you get that?
Just somebody in the background, maybe?
Someone in the background here, Father.
I'll make a motion. You want me to?
Sure.
Okay, great.
Let's see. Almost had a number on this, sorry.
3252.
3252, application
Yep.
3252. Thank you. Premises of 7 Edgewood Avenue, section 1, block 23, parcel 161. The applicant has proposed an office space within the existing garage. It has a side yard of 6 feet where 8 feet is required. The combined side yards are 11.6 feet where 18 feet is required, and further increases the extent by which the building is non-conformant pursuant to section 24069 for residents in the R6 district. The board finds that the benefit to the applicant from the granting of this variance outweighs any detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood or community. Reaching this conclusion, the board considered the following factors: whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties will be created. The board finds that no change to the this variance will create no change to the character of the neighborhood or even to the house. The existing garage, the existing footprint of the house will not change, and the front facade does not change. The front garage still gives the appearance of a garage door that will be converted to a shed, and the proposed office is created on the inside of the existing garage without any impact to the neighboring houses or the community. Whether an applicant can achieve their goals via a reasonable alternative, which does not involve the necessity of an area variance. This house is existing non-conforming, already outside the existing setbacks on 3 out of the 4 sides. So anything that is done to the existing structure looks to need a variance. This is really requesting the slightest variance because it's not increasing the existing nonconformity at all. So
Except, well, it is intensifying the use.
with the exception of intensifying the use, but structurally and with regards to the setbacks, it is not increasing it at all. Okay.
Yes.
What is, I have a question before you go to complete. Behind the hatch lines of the proposed office, what's that space that's shown? That it just says existing
Here?
house? Yeah, yeah.
On the
Armin, can-
backside?
Armin,
Excuse me?
is that a pantry behind the garage?
Go ahead.
Far away.
It's
This-
actually a bathroom. It's a powder room, half bath.
Thank you.
That changes everything.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but look at the rear elevation though. It looks like it's a recess. Is that possible? Or maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing. Existing. There, right over,
Yes.
yeah, right
Right?
over there. Yeah. Is that just a recess?
Let me go to the photos.
It's a recess.
Yes.
You're not proposing to fill that in, correct?
No.
Okay. Because the plans were just an outline of the. of the
Whether
plan.
the variance is substantial, the board finds that the variance is not substantial. The change in use will be used for a home office, and it is not, again, increasing the degree of nonconformity with regards to the side yard and combined side yard setbacks. Whether the variance will have an adverse impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district, the board finds that, again, it will not be creating any additional runoff. There's no increase in impervious surface, and it does not change the shadowing or block any light to the neighbors because the structure is not getting any larger. Whether there has been a self-created difficulty, it is in that the applicant would like to change their garage into a home office, but it is non-determinative in this matter. And for the reasons stated above, the granting of the variance is in harmony with the general purpose and intent of the town of Mamaroneck zoning ordinance. There, so submitted.
Someone like the second?
Second.
All in favor? That's
Aye.
you.
We have to call the roll, right?
Yes, thank you, John.
Arthur,
Yes.
Irene,
Yes.
Finn,
Yes.
Jonathan,
Yes.
Carol?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Enjoy your new office.
Thank you all. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Application number 2, case number 3253, Amy and Peter O'Hara, 5 Harmony Drive, requesting a variance for a second floor addition on the premises located at 5 Harmony Drive and known on the tax assessment map as block 409, lot 624.
Before you,
Lewis and Lewis tag team.
Yes.
Yeah,
Good
I'd like to
evening.
make a motion to open public hearing.
Second. So moved.
just before I forget, I'm trying to figure out whether the block and lot, when it's listed as block and lot, it's block 409, lot 624. But when it's listed as section block lot, it's section 1, block 29, parcel 624. So should that section 1 be a 4?
I'll check.
Okay.
Would that have any impact on the application?
No, I just want to get it right, you know, if you
Okay.
guys, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a 4.
Hey,
Okay.
Jerome.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Paige Lewis with Lewis and Lewis Architects. I'm here with Amy and Peter O'Hara of 5 Harmony Drive. And they have asked for a addition on their second floor where we are in conflict with both side yard and rear yard setbacks. So I'm going to share my screen and explain what we're doing. Everybody see the drawings?
Mhm. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So
Why don't
I'll
you
give you-
zoom in on the
the site.
side so you can explain what you're doing.
So here we are, Harmony Drive as it curves around before it intersects Alden. We're kind of right in this pie-shaped lot is the house, kind of tucked into the corner. That's the location. And then photos of the property. So looking at the front of the house, the left side front of the house, and then the right, kind of as you work your way around the curve.
Mhm.
And then the rear elevation. And the neighboring properties, but I'll jump to the site plan. So I'm going to go to the proposed. So really we're not changing the building footprint. We're just building a dormer off the second floor. But because of the location of the house on the lot, where the existing house is 3.3 on this side yard, and 8 foot is required. And on the other side, where the house itself at the ground floor is 3.1, where 10 feet is required. And so we're stepping in on the second floor. So we're asking for a variance of 4.3 on this side and 4.5 on that side. That's the side yards. And then the rear yard, as you can see, the setback kind of runs at an angle. And we are asking for 17.8. That's the existing. We're not changing that line of the rear wall, but that's where we are. And then I'll walk you through the project. So the existing second floor, we have 2 bedrooms and a hall bath, and then we have an attic that you reach in. You have to kneel down because you smack your head. And what we're proposing to do is then add, reconfigure the closet in the master bedroom to become a walk-through and create an office here with the bedroom on this side separated with a pocket door. And as I mentioned before, we're stepping in on the side, so we're not lining up on the edges. So we're not as close to the side property lines as the first floor is. And then in terms of elevations, there's no change to the front elevation. So then here's the right
Wait a
side.
minute, there is a change on the drawing at least.
We're painting the house.
I look at the size of the windows on the second floor.
We are changing the windows, but we're not, that's a graphic. We're matching the heights of the windows. I'll go back to my pictures. But there's
You're not
no,
changing the windows, so leave them as it is.
yes. Replacement windows,
So these to the sort have to be corrected on this drawing, yes?
correct.
Okay.
The right side, you can see where the shed dormer pops up on the right side from the existing to the proposed. And then the rear elevation. So the current rear elevation is this, and this is what we're proposing. So we're coming up with a stucco wall, and then there's our office, windows in the office, windows in the bedroom. And then this is the proposed, the other side, which is similar. So we have a shed dormer.
Can you go back to the front elevation, please?
To the front,
Yes. I know you're not changing anything, but something looks strange just to me. You have a second floor line, but a second floor line. I don't know where you are now on the sheet. Are you on the bottom of the sheet?
Yeah, right here.
And then look at the one above. It's the same head. Something isn't drawn right.
Yeah, this window is drawn too tall compared to this window.
I
This
know.
is not the right height.
I think also the height of the building might be different. I think it has to be
This height.
corrected. I just look. I think it has to be corrected because you're not changing it.
Right, we're not changing it.
Right. But the drawing should be right.
Correct.
Okay.
And then one other piece I just want to point out that we are doing is we're adding air conditioning to the house, but we're putting them here. Disregard, that's a typo here. So we're adding units, but they're compliant with the side yard setback, but we've shown them on the site plan.
And you make the 18 feet then for some.
There, at that point, yes.
Yes, you do. I think so.
Any questions on the application we have before you tonight?
No,
Questions on the board?
no, not for me.
I'm still, Paige, can you talk to the house to the right side?
Sure, you want me to go to the photos? This one?
Or I can share my screen because you don't really.
Yeah.
have-
I'll stop sharing.
Can anyone see my screen?
No.
Not yet.
I see it.
I can see it. Yes.
That's the right side of the house. Now, what's happening here is fairly consistent that there's going to be an additional shed dormer that's going to kind of mirror this house. The only difference we have here is that there's a window that then looks out, in this home that doesn't exist on the other home. I don't recall us ever allowing in the past any two houses to be this close. I mean, this distance, I guess I'd just like you to talk, Paige, to like why we think this is okay. Give us the compelling reason why, this is already existing non-conforming. It already is very close, but this kind of now increases that non-conformity to make even a larger portion of this house very, very close to the other house. I mean, this is like the classic, do you have any Grey Poupon? I can reach out the window kind of thing.
So Jonathan, are you, can I share again? I just want to,
Sure.
I zoomed in on the location map.
I gave you back your.
For some reason I lost you guys. No.
All right.
Okay, got it.
So I zoomed in. Can you see the location? So Jonathan, I assume, are you referring to this property or to this
No.
property? I mean, they're both,
Three Harmony as it abuts 5 Harmony.
3 Harmony. Okay. I mean, we have, the function on this side is an office. I mean, the window is more towards the rear. I mean, we can move the window so we minimize the impact on the side.
Can you go to the site plans? It might be easier than just the area plan.
Site plan doesn't show the other house.
It would
Right.
be-
That's why I was using.
When we talk to the consistency in the neighborhood, you do have the 3 pie lots that are here, and each of these houses are very close to one another. Anyone who bought a house on any of these lots recognizes that, I could share dinner with my neighbor right next door. But we are now, again, like I said, we're increasing that nonconformity in an area that is somewhat extreme. I mean, it's probably 6 feet between the corner of that house and the corner of the other house, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, right now, the existing at this corner, we're 3.3 at the corner here. And if the other house is similar, you're maybe at 7 and on a good moment. But then as you come out, it opens up a little bit more due to the angle of the house is kind of more parallel to the
I
street.
guess maybe tell, it's not going to impact the balance of the neighborhood. It's not going to change the characteristics or anything else. But maybe you could tell me why this won't impact the direct neighbors.
It goes down to use, and then it's an office. It's at the rear of the house. We can make the windows smaller. The egress windows are on the rear side, along this side. I mean, we could change these windows out. I mean, would you have the same concern if there were no windows on that side?
Maybe because they're operable windows, maybe if it was non-operable, or maybe if they were just octagons so that you get the light. I understand the reason for them. I would not want.
The light would be nice. Maybe we can make it a fixed window so that it's not. So you still get light, but you're not getting the noise or.
I'm trying to deal with this balancing of, of impact. And the only real impact here is directly with the neighbors. And to me, it's somewhat extreme because this is a very, very short distance between the two homes.
Question.
Now, I do note that on 3 Harmony, they do not have a window on their dormer. Their windows are actually set further forward. So I wouldn't suggest moving them forward because I think you're staying almost in line with the rear of their shed dormer that's there.
The
So
neighbors,
I think it'll have very little impact there because you're not going to look window to window,
Right.
giving hello, to my neighbor.
I mean, to me, another factor is that house at 3 Harmony extends way back to the rear property line. It's not even, I mean, it's much farther back than this house is. So I don't know how much you're disadvantaging that other house. You look at
That's what I was saying earlier, was anyone who moved into any of these 3 houses on the
Yes.
rise recognized that you had an odd situation where at the corners, you were
Yes.
very close. So
Yes,
just that we're increasing that situation.
yes. And both of the other houses have similar second floor levels in the rear like this one.
Right, it's doing the shed dormer is very consistent because that's what is there.
Yeah, that's what the others have. Well, at least the one on the right does.
And I think the one on the left also has a similar.
It has a second level to the back, yes.
It's similar, but it positions differently. I looked at it from both sides.
Mhm.
It just positions a little bit differently, that they're not kind of looking towards one another, that a little bit skewed off a bit. Did we have any letter of support from 3 Harmony?
Amy and Peter, can you unmute?
Hi. No, because my understanding it's a rental right now, so the owners are not there.
This one is a rental. And then what about, I know you talked with 7 Harmony too.
Talk with her. I did not get a letter of support, but she had no objection. And I also talked to the people at 18 as well, and they had no objection.
Okay.
18 Alden Towers over your house.
Yeah, the backyard goes up.
Yeah.
Correct.
You are putting a double window in the rear of that room, is that correct?
Yes.
You might be better off eliminating that window that's facing the neighbor.
So we have a double window on the rear to line
Right,
up with the
yeah.
living room.
And what is that, about 5 feet of glass?
Yeah, just about, maybe a little bit more. I think it's like a 2-3 footer, so it's a 6 feet.
6 feet, it's a lot of glass for a small room.
I personally would feel better if it was a non-operable window or a, more of a decorative window, like an octagon or something of that
So I
sort.
think they're very
Or
terrible.
on the side that were there, but I see the reason why you'd like to be able to have as much natural light
Mm-hmm.
that as possible.
On a transit.
I do note that you're still, no matter what, going to be very close to this other home. And even if the current neighbors don't object, I don't think that anyone coming in the future might, see it as some detriment.
Amy and Peter, would you be okay if it was a fixed window?
I probably wouldn't do a window because I just prefer it for ventilation purposes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd prefer a window, but
Right.
if not, and we're just talking on the right side of the house, correct?
Yes.
In that office room.
Right, the office. So then I would just do no window, if that was the
I
option.
think
That would be this one.
Correct.
I think having no window would be exactly consistent with what is there in the neighborhood, which is the opposing home, which also doesn't have a window at that part of the house.
If you want to get more ventilation and more light, you can also pop a skylight in towards the back in that room. As an option, and close off that window. It'll give you much more light than a window in a plane of wall. Much more light.
And much more chance of a leaky roof.
Right.
Well, it depends if it has to be put done properly. I mean,
Let's
obviously.
pass on that.
I don't do skylights.
Well, they have a benefit, let me tell you.
I have no other questions.
What if we made it just a smaller window?
Just say on the side of our house, in the master bedroom, there's 2 small windows on that side,
Yeah, right, these two.
that if we made it consistent with that,
Yeah,
Well, show that side elevation.
go to that. Here we go.
Yeah, it's about,
So we did match this width and just did a narrow little guy.
they're about the width of a window air conditioning unit. The,
Mhm.
covers.
The casement one.
That actually might look a little more consistent on the side. I mean, it is the side of the house.
I think that would look great. I would like the idea of the smaller window on the, for consistency and,
A little longer too.
I think that would,
We did a little,
Of course, the window that's on the right side of
you're gonna
the
have, that's the
chimney is a longer window.
right, and we can get it,
Yeah,
The
you
one-
can, because again, you get away from the slope of the.
you're pushing,
get it
further
away from the
roof.
glass and the roof.
I think that looks better. But we're not the architectural board review. We just look at the impact.
No, but what I was addressing was that the window to me felt like it had an impact on the neighbor, and I think we're minimizing the impact, but still giving the homeowner the facility to have the air and light that they seek through the office.
Right. Hey, are you working on a PDF or are you working on the computer?
it's PDF on the computer.
Okay. I'm at the CAD program.
Oh, right now, this is, well, I marked it up on the PDF and I'll put it in CAD.
Okay.
I'll match the width of these windows here
And the height.
and the height, and then
Yeah, look good.
and hold it to this side so we can get it to work.
Correct. Any other questions from the board?
No.
Any questions from the viewing public? Richard?
I'm looking,
Okay,
no hands up and nobody is emailing.
so I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Someone like to make a motion?
I can do it if you want.
Sure.
Case 3253, Amy and Peter O'Hara at 5 Harmony Drive are seeking a variance for a second floor addition. The second floor addition will have a side yard of 4.3 feet where 8 feet is required. The other side yard setback is 4.5 feet where 8 feet is required. And the combined side setbacks are 8.8 feet where 18 feet is required. Also, the rear yard setback will be 17.8 feet where 25 is required. The board reviewing this application had balanced the benefit to the applicant with detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the community. In doing so, the board determined whether an undesirable change to the neighborhood character or nearby properties would happen. The board finds that there will be no undesirable change to the character of the neighborhood. This is a pie lot. There are actually 3 pie lots. They're all burdened with non-conforming structures that are out there and are already quite close to one another. The addition that the applicant seeks to add is to the rear of the house and will only affect the rear half side elevations and the rear elevation of the house. It is consistent with the neighboring properties, each of which have a shed dormer like is being proposed by the applicant here. So it is consistent. The architect has done their job to minimize as much as they can any of the impact through windows and other treatments to the nearby neighbors. The board also considered whether the benefit can be achieved by other means feasible to the applicant. The board in reviewing the plans finds that the addition is fairly minimal, meets the minimum needs of a bedroom and an office that's out there, and is no way overly extensive. And it doesn't appear, based on the size of the lot, that there is any opportunity to make any kind of addition to this house that would not require a variance. Whether the request is substantial, as previously stated, the request is not substantial because it will be in the existing footprint of the house. It goes up only on the rear half of the house. It is about the minimal amount that you would consider for a bedroom and an office in that space. So the request is not substantial. Whether the request will have any adverse physical or environmental effects, once again, this fits into the existing footprint, so it will have no effect on runoff. It will have minimal effect on air and light within the area. So we'll have no environmental impact. Whether the alleged difficulty is self-created is clearly self-created, as the applicant seeks to have an addition put on their house, but is non-determinative in this matter. Respectfully submitted.
Can I add something to that? Paige,
Yes,
would you consider that window that we just discussed on the left side to be changed to one on the right side so it looks consistent on?
Yeah. I think we should match it.
Yes, I agree. Okay. Someone like the second?
Second.
I could just add as a condition to this approval, it was that the windows would be changed from as presented to be consistent with the smaller, narrower windows that currently exist on the house for the rear addition of the shed dormer.
Okay.
And also, I guess that the renderings be changed, as noted by the chair, to be consistent on the front elevation with what's actually there, that there are no changes.
Again, someone like the second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Arthur,
Well, call the roll.
Arthur,
Yes.
Irene,
Yes.
Jonathan,
Yes.
Stephen,
Yes,
Carol,
Yes.
thank you. Minutes?
Well, I wasn't here last week because of the
It
BAR.
was, looked fine to me.
I would make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Do I vote on that since it wasn't here, but I read them?
Yes.
Lisa?
You can vote on them if we need you to vote on them.
Oh, you
that
have,
is-
you're four.
There were, yeah.
So could we do a roll call on the minutes? Or let's start with the motion. Jonathan did the motion.
Irene,
Hold on, I gotta bring Jonathan back. I can't give me my.
And Irene, you
I
seconded
approve.
it?
I'd approve.
Okay, so Jonathan, Irene, and can anyone else vote on the minutes?
I can vote on the minutes.
And Carol.
And
Okay.
Jonathan.
Sorry,
was-
Jonathan.
Yeah, you kept kicking me out.
I was there. Lisa,
Okay, and Steve. All
okay.
right, so who's abstaining? Just Arthur?
Yeah, because I wasn't at the meeting.
Okay, so just Arthur. And what about, where's Seth?
Yes, I guess I'm
Seth,
abstaining too then if I wasn't here. Yep.
Okay,
Francine, when's the next meeting?
December 22nd.
22nd?
Of December.
Okay, not sure if I'll be there, but you can have it.
I apologize for being late tonight. Are we 7 or 7:15?
7 o'clock.
Okay, I have them all in at 7:15.
It was 7:15 last time because we did the training.
Carol, you have to, wait a minute, you have to put this.
No, it was 7:30 last time because we did.
Okay, but it was moved around, but it's 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. 7 o'clock it is. I thought I was right on time at 7:15.
Well, I'd like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving.
And you
Happy
also.
Thanksgiving.
to you too.
Thank you.
Have a happy turkey.
Well, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, good night.
Thank you all.
good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sean.